Hey guys, Trent here with Sonar Pros. Got a new install we just finished up. Got a Lowrance HDS Pro 16 that we're about to do a first setup on. I want to walk you guys through just some really easy, quick setup tips on these Lowrances to make sure they run right when you get them out on the water. All right, first thing we're going to do, probably the #1 recommended thing you do with this Lowrance unit is out of the box, it's going to give you this really annoying beep noise. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of that before we start hitting a bunch of areas on this unit. So we're going to go Pages, we're going to go Settings, and right there under System you will see key beeps. I like to just go ahead and turn these off so we don't have that pinging return every time we touch the screen. While we're under the System page here, a thing I like to run on the units is to turn off or turn on what is called Autohide Menu, which is under the Advanced Features, under User Interface, and then Autohide Menu. We're going to turn that on. What that's going to do is anytime we have a menu sidebar on the side, it's going to auto swipe that away. And I'll give you guys an example of that menu bar. That's this bar right here. You can either swipe this bar away like that, or after 15 seconds, that'll auto wipe away. That is what that setting is going to do. Going back to our Settings tab right here, if the boat is equipped with a 0.1 antenna, the next thing you're going to want to do is go down to Chart, and we're going to turn on our range rings and our heading extension. Now what that's going to do, and it hasn't found us yet because we're in a metal building, but range rings are these rings that extend out away from the center point of the boat, and those are indicated by individual feet markers going out. For example, right now with us zoomed in, each ring from the center of the boat is 250 feet. So that ring's 250 feet, that ring's 250 feet. As I zoom in more on the boat, that ring indicator changes to where now from the boat to that ring is 50 feet, another 50 feet, so 100 feet, 150 feet. So it's a really good indicator. And then that heading extension is that line coming off of the boat showing our orientation of the bow, which direction it's pointed. Going back to our settings page, we're then going to scroll down to Sonar. If your boat is equipped with a shoot-through hole transducer and an external 3-in-1 transducer, for example, we're going to want to make sure we have channel 1 and channel 2 sonar turned on. While we're in the sonar topic, we're going to hop over to 2D sonar. Your source should be this unit, channel 1, which is your shoot-through hole. Out of the box, with the newest update on the HDS Pros and even the HDS Lives, they're going to be auto-stopped, so you can go into more options, hit Stop Sonar. That transducer is now firing. As far as color palettes, when it comes to 2D sonar, I really like palette 1 or palette 13. For this scenario, we're going to leave it on palette 1. And then sensitivity, I actually like to leave pretty much all this alone. I will turn sensitivity to auto +1. Going over to our down scan next while we're on the topic of sonar. Couple important things here that I think are very important change. #1, if you are running a shoot-through hole transducer and an external transducer, we are going to turn off fish reveal. So we're going to go more options, fish reveal. We're going to unstop the sonar. Contrast, I like to do auto +5 on downscan. And then right here, I really like palette 10 and palette 11. I'm going to leave it on palette 10 because I do like that amber look. Going to side scan next. This boat is running a traditional 3-in-1. The customer opted to stay with the 3-in-1 transducer versus the HD. So when it comes to side scan, I'm going to go in and I'm going to set that range manually to 100 feet. I'm going to bring that contrast down to auto -1. And then when it comes to frequency, depending on your depth and range, for the most part, shallower water, you're going to want to run 455. If you are wanting a little bit clearer picture but not as much range, you can run 800 kilohertz. In this scenario, we're going to go 455. Color palette is dealer's choice. In this scenario on 455, I really like palette 9. Depending on your boat's install, in this scenario, this is a Ranger, which has the flush mount kit, which we are going to flip. That's probably not typical for most boats, but this boat, the transducer is flipped, so we're turning that on. Now, the important stuff, we're going to move into our in-depth network settings. So we're going to go settings, go to the network tab, data sources. This is where I like to check to make sure that our 0.1 antenna is communicating. So right here, you can see we have 0.1. Same thing for vessel, we have our 0.1. This boat is equipped with 2 0.1s, so I'm going to make sure it is connected to the rear 0.1, which I know is this one with the 019 ending. So both our vessel indicator and our GPS is under 0.1, which is important. Now the last thing I like to do is make sure that under sonar, we are pulling water temperature from the correct device. On a Ranger bass boat like this, there is an external temperature probe, which is what we're going to use. If you had a boat with just your transducer, I would recommend that it is on the channel to this device temperature reading. Again, if you have an external temperature probe like this Ranger does, that's what you would want to use ultimately. And that is pretty much the setup, new out of the box, brand new HDS Pro as far as the user settings I like to go through. If you guys have any questions, you can contact us at SonarProsElectronics.com or our socials on Facebook and Instagram or even YouTube. That's a real good overview. If you've got a brand new HDS Pro or even an HDS Live unit, as far as setup for your traditional bass boat setup, those are the settings I like to do out of the box.